Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's panel. Thank you for dialing from wherever you are. I know that my guest Pinar, it's 7 a.m. for her in Los Angeles. So get your coffee on, Pinar. We are very excited to have you with us. My name is Dr. Frederique Covington Corbett, and we are going to have a great session focused on understanding how Cuebric has been scaling their amazing AI technology for the greater good in K-12 education. This session is going to provide insights into how we can go from pilot to products, how we build, how we ship, and how we scale classroom-ready AI that aligns with a lot of this conference focus, specifically looking at things under the hood. Not everything is perfect, things that we're learning, things that we're testing, and how great experiments, maybe in other categories, as is the case with Cuebric, can be brought to education for fantastic, measurable, and transformational impact, really. So I want to start by just taking a minute to stretch for those of you who have been in the conference for a while, or those of you who have just been watching the recording. I know we've had thousands of attendees, so thank you so much. Just take a minute for introductions. As I mentioned, my name is Dr. Frederique Covington Corbett. I work at UNICEF, the UN's Children's Agency, but I'm also a passionate writer, reader, and learner on all things AI. And I'm very excited to let you know that Pinar, whom I will introduce in a minute because her biography is long, is actually a mentor of mine, and I had the chance to take one of Pinar's LinkedIn class, which is world class and I think ranked as one of the most uh, highly rated classes on AI, and she has several with my team at UNICEF, and that is how I got acquainted with her. After we did this group AI class, I reached out to her to letting her know how extraordinary it was, and now here she is on the panel. So always be curious, always be learning. Pinar, please allow me to say a few words about you, and of course, then I will let you introduce yourself. It's important that people who join us today know how lucky we are to have you with us. Pinar is a recognized AI expert, creative technologist, and industry pioneer. She is shaping the future of AI with a lot of creative as well as now school-ready tools. As a LinkedIn Learning First generative AI expert and instructor, she has developed a course that has been translated in 6 languages. And as I mentioned, record-breaking, over 2 million views and 100,000 five-star reviews. That was also probably one of mine. She is the co-founder of Cuebric, the world's first creative AI production company. And she has reimagined storytelling and the creation of 3D worlds with these incredible AI tools, simplifying the process of bringing ideas from concept to screens in real time. She's also produced the world's first generative AI VFX for a future film and earned the prestigious D&AD Award for the first generative AI commercial. She's a thought after leader, very hard to book. So again, we're really lucky. You may have seen her appear on CBS's 60 Minutes and global stages such as Bloomberg Screen Time, South by Southwest, TEDx, Harvard, etc. Previously, she founded a successful creative technology studio in Europe, and she developed the IKEA collection and partnered with Google Brain to create a tool to democratize AI art. I cannot wait to get into the conversation. Pinar, a very warm early morning welcome to you from Los Angeles.
Thank you, Freddie. Such a joy to share the space with you all. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Today, I would like to show you a bit about my journey, how I was officially the first artist whose job was made obsolete by AI, and how I wasn't afraid And instead, I took the power that life has given me in my hands and founded two AI companies, developed two products, one for professional filmmakers and then one for education. So we will get on a 20-25 minute journey together, followed by Freddie's questions. Just a heads up, the tool that I was given the chance to develop is for K to 12, education K to 12. I put my heart in education, even though I have a company that is keeping me quite busy. I felt very responsible in educating the audience and the next generations about the advent of AI and how it's simply a tool and finds meaning in our hands, and it's nothing to be afraid of, just like we are not afraid of a fork or an airplane or a car. I don't find any reason for us to be afraid of AI. So I decided to not only give conscious contemplation talks like this, but also develop a tool for next generations. I know that it's the one that we are in, it's a conference for higher education, and the tool we have developed is K to 12, but the fundamental principles of ushering AI in the age of AI to relate from a point of creativity for K to 12 to me is the same for its relation to higher education, which is the amplification of skill sets that we have as human beings that will always remain at the outside of the reach of machines, which is creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking. So hopefully, even though the tool and the methodologies that we have developed are for K to 12, you as higher education folks will find common ground for what you are currently working on. So with that, I will be sharing my screen and giving you a presentation we prepared for you all. All right. Freddie, you're seeing my screen? So all good?
Yeah, it's all good. Go ahead. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, sounds great. All right, let's get into it. Like I have given you a little heads up earlier, I'm officially the first artist whose job was made obsolete by AI, if you believe in the common speak of us being made obsolete by AI, which I don't, but I have named it this way to be provocative. Let me explain you how it worked, how everything came together. I was minding my own business. I was an artist whose artworks are exhibited in museums, galleries. I made very cool things like Freddie explained. I have a collection under my name and all I Kids in the World, a pattern collection that went on 25 pieces of furniture. I developed patterns for fashion designers. I was part of Paris Fashion Week, great. And I received an email from Google Brain, Google, where do their most cutting edge AI experiments, December 2017, saying that with this comparison, hey, as you can recognize, the bottom row is your art, and the top row is our basically discoveries in accidentally starting to make art by researching the mind of AI. We try to understand how AI recognizes the feature like my face has a feature, this iPhone has a feature which is different than my face. So how does AI models recognize features of objects and classifies them? Our research resulted in making art-looking pictures, and it looks like your body of work. Can you please come here and explain us why? I was like, what do you mean? Sorry, I'm lost. You started making art like me and you're asking me why you're doing that? I have no idea. So that put me in a whirlwind of 3 weeks of being forced to understand how AI works and why by instinct I was making art like AI without unbeknownst to my knowledge. And then also coming up with a meaningful way for everyone to relate to this crazy 1 in a trillion discovery. So this resulted in 2018 for a year, me and my former work partner working for Google and building an app, a solution for everyone, including my mother, to be able to make art like me by using machine learning AI. And it resulted in this beautiful patterns that would normally take me weeks and weeks to make. And by the sheer computation power of AI, me and the rest of the world were capable of making these in a matter of minutes. So that gave me that forced me to learn so much about AI. And I have this God-given talent of simplifying complex and communicating it, which brought me the LinkedIn course that is, like Freddie told, that is currently one of the best-selling AI courses in the world. And actually, I'm here to tell you that I will be so happy to share a free course with you. LinkedIn was generous enough to give you quite a lot of copies, LinkedIn premium accounts. I would like to drop the email of my assistant here, Sophia. And if you would like to receive a free copy, please get in touch with her. She will make sure that all of you that is interested in taking my course, which is What is Generative AI, is my first course, and the second course, AI Literacy for Leaders, that has become one of the 10 best-selling MBA courses in the world. She will be happy to share both of these courses with you. Moving forward, before I start introducing the K-12 education tool we developed, I'm currently very lucky to be leading a group of humble geniuses that are working towards acceleration professional workflows for film production by using our multimodal AI platform, multimodal meaning bringing several different AIs together. But today, we're here to talk about education. I would like to start with this another second provocative sentence. If we teach today as we taught yesterday, we rob our children of tomorrow. Uh, I would like to, the reason why we have developed the tool that we will be demonstrating in the next slides is because we are all aware that we have entered in the age of AI and students are disengaged. Not only students are not being part of the classrooms with engagement, but also not only that, also 87% of our jobs will be one way or the other accelerated, replaced, or disrupted by AI, as Microsoft research shows. And also near 60% of the next generation wants to be content creators. Meanwhile, AI will be automating labor. So we're in a complete crossroads of like the jobs that we know make sense will no longer make sense, and not only they don't make sense, the next generation doesn't want to perform them. So we're here like in a complete dilemma of like, what are we going to do? So I don't know what keeps you up at night, but this is really the question that keeps me up at night. So which brings us to the 83% of future jobs, some research say 87, will require AI literacy and creative thinking, putting education at an inflection point where classrooms must adopt safe, engaging, and future-ready tools. So how do we get there? We get there by discerning what are machine strengths and what are human strengths. In the next slides, we have prepared 4 slides for you. Feel free to take pictures and use it in your own research and implementation of AI literacy. I have distilled this slide to put in front of us what are the strengths of machines and what are the strengths of humans. I know that it's very easy to be subject to a computation power that calculates faster and scalable than us, which brings us, what is my point? So at any time we feel intimidated by the presence of AI in logical or efficiency, in pattern following, in predictability, I would like to invite us to consider putting the effort, putting the attention on human strengths. If AI is fast and scalable, then we are intuitive, emotional, and creative. If AI is logical and efficient, we are self-aware, curious, and creative. If machines are pattern following, our strength is the very breakability of the pattern. And if machines are predictable, our strength lies in unpredictability. So by taking this into consideration, and in the next slides that I will be presenting, we decided to develop a platform that plays on the strengths of humans, not on the strengths of machines. And I have this other, the third provocative thing to tell you is that I'm currently writing a book about the art of being human in the age of AI, which made me contemplate a lot about the nature of intelligence. I'm Turkish, I'm from Middle East, and my family, well, I grew up in Quranic tradition. And in Quran, intelligence is defined by 8 different things, not just one. And I realized in our contemporary culture, we thoroughly define intelligence by computation. Learning a craft, executing it. Repeat what you learned. Here is how our organization operates. Repeat it. Don't question it. Just obey. And that's exactly how machines work. That's why if ever we define intelligence from a confinement of computation, Of course, we feel inferior because our intelligence is not narrowed down to competition and computation, but it's something extremely rich and holistic that involves curiosity, visionary foresight, navigating nuance, ethical judgment, mercy, decisions with moral imagination, pursuit of excellence that helps us break patterns, building trust across diverse teams, challenging norms with courage. So it's a much more holistic wealth that is above and beyond computation. And so I have this proposal. I made this proposal. I have a written proposal for UNICEF about why I think education must involve higher education, K to 12, all types of education, on top of STEM and 3 Rs, 5 Cs, which are creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, collective care, and consciousness, which will always reside outside of the reach of machines. I believe that education, evolutions, revolutions are born out of necessities. Late 18th and 19th century, it was industrialization. So what did we need? We needed a disciplined, literate, and numerate workers who could follow instructions. In other words, robots. So that's why we made the education based on 3 Rs: reading, writing, arithmetics, to create organic robots. Great. But then now we have robots, we need something else. And what happened in the mid-20th century, we were competing with Russians for Sputnik, so we needed highly sophisticated technologists. So we introduced STEM, science, technology, engineering, math. That was what we needed. Great. That was the need of our time. And right now, 2025, the need of our time is cultivate skill sets that do not make us compete with machines, because science, technology, engineering, math, reading, writing, arithmetics, if we teach our children these skill sets, we will make them compete with machines, because that's what the machines are very good at. What we are very good at is skill sets that machines can never reach, which is our soft skills, our emotional skills, our skills that are above and beyond computation. So that's why, and where do we start? We start with creativity, because even though, against contrary popular opinion, I don't believe that any machine can ever be creative. I am a creative. You are all creatives, because creativity is the capacity to remain in the now and distill our God-given, universe-given talents with expressions that are authentic to each of us, that can come out of us only in the presence of the now. And if we all know what machines are, the way machines are trained is data sets plus algorithms equal outputs. That's a confined algorithm, meaning no machine can ever venture out of their algorithms and data sets. So no matter how creative and no matter how creative looking and new machines can spit out information, they can never thoroughly create something new that does not exist in their data sets. So I will say something bold and against popular contrary opinion. I don't believe any machine can ever be creative, because it doesn't lie in their nature. So as a solution for K to 12, what we have developed and continue to develop is a tool that teaches what cannot be automated, which is vision, creativity, and originality. This is our 2-minute launch video I would like to share with you, and it will be followed by a demonstration of our partners and the capabilities of the tool.
In the age of AI, education must evolve to prepare students to thrive and excel. Students today need familiarity with AI tools and systems, as well as critical and creative thinking skills to solve real-world problems. This combination will equip them to navigate our rapidly changing world. To support this shift, Cuebric has partnered with Jason Learning, the nation's largest STEM education network, to create a project-based curriculum. It allows students to explore STEM concepts through hands-on, AI-driven learning experiences that foster deeper understanding and engagement. At its heart is the 5C framework: creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, collective care, and consciousness. These essential skills help students blend human insights with machine efficiency, focusing on areas where AI capabilities complement human strengths.
Exposing young people to the power of Cuebric and what generative AI can do. I really enjoyed the creative part of it because suddenly an idea they had, oh, that's exactly how we imagined it to look like. And those aha moments were really great to watch.
Cuebric provides a secure environment for AI-based learning with advanced content filters, ensuring a safe space for exploration. Meanwhile, teachers use Cuebric's educator admin panel to easily manage student activities, track progress, and guide learning. While Jason Learning's founder, Bob Ballard, explored the depths of our oceans and discovered Titanic, I co-founded Cuebric to explore the depths of our beautiful human mind and creativity through AI. Together, we bring a shared pioneering spirit to our program. Are you ready to bring the future of learning to your classroom, district, or homeschool? Get started today with our AI-powered curriculum available worldwide. Visit Cuebric.com/CuebricJasonLearning.
All right, let's discover it in detail. So what we have done is that we already have this tool that's in market that is being used by productions and has been used by or currently used by some of the world's greatest companies, advertising conglomerates, film studios. And what we have been told that educators find it very interesting that K to 12 students get to be subject to a tool that they will end up using when they become professional, but then they start learning it at a distilled level at early in their age. We started building a picture-based creativity tool that can be likened to the Canva of storytelling. It's very simple. Right now, the students, by using our tool, can graduate with portfolio-ready work, creative confidence, AI fluency, and career-aligned skills. And in the next iterations of our platform, we will be introducing more complexity like video-based storytelling. I would like to bring our attention to AI literacy. As you know, that it's a US priority, and that is launched under both Republican and Democratic administrations. As the US action plan states, early exposure to AI concepts not only demystifies this powerful technology, but also sparks creativity and prepares students to participate in the workforce of the future. With that, I would like to give you a very short demo, less than a minute. What we have done is that it's a picture-based app for AI-based creativity because we believe that creativity is an essential skill in the age of AI, creativity, curiosity, and critical thinking. What we have done is that we made two apps, one for the hands of the students, the other one for the hands of administrators. So then when students are typing whatever they would like to create, we also made it sure that it is not safe for word proof. So then students are warned if ever they venture out and trying to create like crime or blood or whatsoever. And I will later on be showing you the admin app.
Hello, everyone. Today, let's explore Cuebric Educational Edition and discover its creative possibilities. We'll be following a Jason Learning course module to design a product inspired by nature. For example, the Namib desert beetle has a remarkable ability to turn fog into water. Inspired by this, we'll envision a backpack that could do the same. To start, we'll create a new project in Cuebric and use AI to visualize our backpack design by typing in a prompt. Then we'll use Pro Airbrush and generate a beetle texture to the top of the backpack by typing in a simple prompt and hitting generate. Now, the backpack needs a reservoir to store the water, so let's go ahead and highlight an area and generate a water tank onto the backpack. Then let's add a dial to the bag so you can tell the precipitation of the water in the air. When the design is ready, Students can add it directly to presentations or infographics for future projects. Cuebric Educational Edition is crafted to be
This was a demonstration, simple demonstration of the Students app, and I will jump
Hi,
between.
welcome to the Cuebric K-12 Education Add Team.
So
and here you'll be able to add a new.
I would like to speak over it myself. So the way we designed the administrative app is on state level, is on country level. So when a country or a state in the United States makes a deal with our platform, we give them the ability to trickle it down to cities and to schools, and schools to educators. So then they can send emails or codes over WhatsApp to the students, because we also wanted to make sure that we can reach students that don't own a phone. So when students are generating, every student is created in the database of this platform. By the way, we are COPPA certified, meaning we make sure that we respect the children's privacies. It's a United States certification. We also make sure that if ever students are generating, like I said earlier, a not safe for work, like crime, blood, or whatsoever, the administrators are warned so that they can send some word to the students saying that to be careful next time. And no matter how much we tried, we couldn't break this system, which is great. Because students are extremely smart, they tried different languages to be able to generate what they would like to generate. But no matter how much we let the testers try, you cannot break our system. So we are extremely safe in that manner. We did several case studies that I will show you in the next slides. And then we have realized that the parents and the teachers that were subject to the case studies said that our tool, by letting creativity flow out of the hands of the students so easily, that our tool made learning exciting and meaningful, and that students have felt engagement, belonging, and skills. It is super exciting for us because there are over 57 million K-12 students in the United States that are hungry for meaning, that are hungry to create meaningful outcomes, that are hungry to be present in the classrooms and learn. And instead of learning by heart things, that they realize that they can question what the teachers are saying. They can create visualizations and stories as homeworks. It was very rewarding for us. Freddie, how are we doing with the timing? Because we have 2 case studies. I can show them, or we
We're
can
doing
share them.
great. I think you should continue. Let me just give you a little bit of a breather so you have time to maybe just catch your breath. Just a couple of things that you've said that was really resonate with me. First of all, let's not be afraid of AI. So just want to take a moment to recognize that. I love how you've talked about the amplification of skill sets. Very important takeaway in terms of the 5 C's and what you've landed around the unique intelligence that we as humans have beyond computational power. So I think that's a really big net takeaway for people listening to us. And also, I think your last point, this is really about letting creativity flow from the hands of the students. So would love to see a few more demos exemplify those points that you've made.
Yeah, we have 2 case studies, each 2 minutes. Shall we show them? I think it would be nice to show them.
Yeah, please show them. I think the more we can see, the better we can understand, just like having seen the app for the kids and the students and the app for the educators. I think that's really useful.
For high schoolers, the following teacher used it in a entrepreneurship class. And for middle schools, they use it to tell fun stories. So let's get into it.
Jason collaborated with STEM Minds to create a case study. They developed the study to enable students to experiment and create to demonstrate the positive impact Cuebric can have in the educational world.
This is about your perspective.
We then gave the students 2 challenges.
The first challenge is you're an entrepreneur. You have a business idea. You want to launch a product. You have the image of the product in your head. Use Cuebric to create a prototype version of it.
The students quickly picked up Cuebric's interface and immediately understood how to develop their ideas.
I feel like it's like because you're prompting it, it's like different than like predicting what you're saying. So if you're like specific enough, it's gonna like display what you want.
In less than an hour, the students developed products and ideas to showcase to their peers, allowing them to tackle the next challenge. The next challenge was creating a scene that they could use as a base for a story, presentation, or class project. They used Cuebric to create images and visualizations for their work.
I think it's like a really good tool to use whenever I need help with school. Because for a lot of like media projects, I'll need help like visualizing scenes or like making a storyboard or whatever. Then this is really helpful for like if I just need to do it quickly and I don't have a lot of time, especially with a bunch of other assignments going on.
Like the interface is it's really simple. It's easy to get hang of. Making an overall scene was pretty easy.
I've had a few assignments where I've had to make a poster and no images online or anything I can really find is really what I've imagined. So I think this is really useful for like generating exactly what you want.
I'm very interested in to see what this shows. I think the concept of having something generated to make a bigger idea is really, really cool.
I think, exposing young people to the power of Cuebric and what generative AI can do and bringing creativity to life. A lot of times great ideas just sit inside the mind and not being able to visualize it. The Cuebric really enables that. And hopefully more and more students will see the value in using tools like that and bringing their creativity to the forefront. So
I will show the next case study. It's again 2 minutes.
Cuebric and Jason Learning have partnered to create a case study to highlight how Cuebric can be beneficial in a classroom environment. Jason Learning invited a classroom of students from different educational levels to use Cuebric. After giving a brief tutorial on how to create with Cuebric, the students were given a creative challenge.
Each group has a Mad Lib in front of them. You're going to work together as a group. You're going to fill out the Mad Lib, and then for each paragraph, you're going to create a prompt based on that Mad Lib.
The students developed their scenes and characters using Cuebric, becoming more and more comfortable with the different AI tools Cuebric features. They then presented the scenes to the rest of the workshop.
Spaceship, the rusty boots, so they can have fun while watching beavers gently spin around. A tiny hot creature with things peeked out. It was a baby rhinoceros. Glowing jewels hung from the ceiling, casting a sparkling light on the cabin wall.
The students were then tasked to create their own stories.
I feel like it could be useful because like when you search up on Google, it doesn't give you the exact description, but I mean, use Cuebric.
They've really taken to it and allowing them to create maybe like fun storylines as far as for certain projects, I think.
She's a normal 13-year-old girl grounded in Manhattan. When her dad goes missing, she is transported to a futuristic world. It's like a neon city. So she has to find her father to get the future back. And she has to try to escape from the neon city.
You worked really hard, which was really fun to see. You came up with some cool stuff. You wrote some great stories, and then you shared it with us so we can use this to try to help inspire it for kids all over the country and maybe all over the world.
Absolutely.
I would like to talk about our differentiation points. Again, we are, to my knowledge, the first COPA certified AI creativity tool built for students, K-12 students. We're coming from pro roots, developed from a tool already used by professionals, creatives. We are not an edtech platform. We are simply here to help the next generations learn the skill sets of professionals. We partnered with Jason Learning. I will talk about it in the next slides. Our platform is available as a joint product with a Jason Learning curriculum, but also it is sold alone, so then you can develop your own curriculums by using our platform. Our main technology advisor was the former Chief Technology Officer of Microsoft, and our head of security was the former head of security of Emirates Airlines. I know that I'm not sure how it is in Europe, but in United States schools rightfully so, are very concerned about the security frameworks of platforms for students because there has been a lot of leaks and breaches of security. We take it very seriously. We have an incredible team, as I outlined below. So this is definitely something, security is definitely something we back with data. We also created, the reason why we didn't only create the creativity platform, we also created the admin platform is for policy moderation and classroom oversight. And our case studies has proven us that our tool is so simple to use that students learned it faster than teachers. So that's super fun. One more thing also, so this generative AI platforms are being ushered into the collective every day, even though we are the first. For example, Google itself provides generation of pictures and makes it available in as part of Google Docs, Google image search and whatsoever. But our difference is that we are not a gigantic conglomerate and we take integrity very seriously. So no matter what the students are generating, they are never going to end up in our data sets because we don't build our data sets. We use data sets of other people. And since we are COPA certified, it means that whatever the students are creating never ends up as part of our data set as a company. So we don't do nothing with what the students are generating. They own what they generate. We as a company, we don't own what they generate, which is a very important point for educators in United States. I'm super excited about our product rollout timeline. We self-funded and raised some funds from friends and family pre-seed round for our company. Our professional product is in the midst of closing our seed round. Together with that, we are also raising seed funds for our education app. Again, we are the pioneer in this. Only in the United States, 57 million direct consumers. We started school pilots and early stage rollouts. The official public launch will be Q1 2026. We have 150 plus schools, 12 districts, and more than 20,000 students in United States only in our pipeline. So it's just so exciting to be a pioneer in this journey.
And Pinar, just a question which is relevant to the timeline you've shared here. You talk about your multilingual support that will be coming. Someone was asking whether it'll have the option for Spanish language for Latin American students and
We would
educators.
love to. Yes, that's part of our plans. That's part of our expansion plans. We would absolutely love to be
Thank
able
you.
to reach as many native languages as possible. I am myself, my native language is not English, and I would love to myself bring it to the people of my own native country, Turkey. What we also realize with our research is that creativity, curiosity, critical thinking, one can think like, yeah, you're making artists, but actually not only. Yes, it is essential for direct creative professions, but also creativity and out-of-the-box thinking is very important for public speakers, startup founders, entrepreneurs, pitch deck designers, innovation consultants, activists, journalists, UX designers, marketing strategists. And as I outlined earlier, 65% of students will work in jobs that do not exist today. So 65% of our labor market will have creativity that doesn't have today. And the global creative economy is now set to grow 40% by 2030, adding 4.4 million more creative and technology jobs in the US that doesn't exist today. And then according to LinkedIn, creativity, AI literacy, and storytelling rank among the top 5 most in-demand skills for 2024. And I believe that creativity, curiosity, critical thinking is not about training for new jobs only. It also helps professionals currently evolve their roles with creative and human-centered skills, from law and policy to education to journalism to engineering and architecture. A last word about our go-to-market curriculum partner that we are so grateful for Jason Learning is America's largest STEM education network, currently serving more than 8 million students. That is founded by Bob Ballard, the discoverer that discovered Titanic and brought James Cameron there for Titanic, his movie. And it's currently led by Dr. Eleanor Smalley. They gracefully wrote a curriculum custom made for Cuebric K-12. So our platform is available with their curriculum and as is alone. With that, this is a demonstration of their curriculum that I'm gonna pass right at the moment. But happy to answer all your questions here by my email. Please feel free to get in touch with me or my assistant, Sophia, that I shared her email earlier. With that, I was wondering, Freddie, we have this, we have the press release of our 5 Cs that we prepared originally for UNICEF. I can also drop a link to that document if you...
That would be great if you could do that, because we have a couple questions coming in that I'd like to make sure we take the last 5 minutes to answer. First of all, just, huge kudos. I think it's always amazing when, students have the opportunity to experiment with, professional tools. I also want to just do a shout out on how you're really helping with your tool visualize what's in their mind, and you're really augmenting their brain, not replacing or reducing their minds. And I think that that's a very important point to dwell on, because there's a lot of AI criticism today. And so this notion of augmentation, and you can see the way that the students talk about the tool, right? They are really unleashing their own intelligence and their own creativity, not having the tool replace for, or just, some of these comments we're hearing, are they just being kind of lazy and replaced by the machine? So huge kudos on that. I want to ask you one question before I go to some of the Q&A here. I want to ask you, what surprised you the most with what students have done with your tool?
Fun. That was incredible to witness. I remember being a student myself, nothing was fun. I was going there as a job. I was going to school as a job because my mom forced me to do. I hated education. I'm gonna say something very bold. Whatever I know in life, I learned it myself by reading books, by watching movies, by watching education. It really put tears in my eyes to see that kids were having genuine fun being at school.
That's absolutely beautiful and very much in line with this, what you talked about, let the creativity flow. There's a question here that kind of builds on this nicely. What's your view of how AI and human presence coexist? Some schools have limited students' AI time and have expressed some concerns on balancing, tech time, AI time with personal time. What's the right balance, and what's the approach that you would recommend?
What a wonderful question. I completely agree with that. Actually, as you know, the world's greatest technologists, including Steve Jobs, have forbid their kids to touch technology until a certain age. I find ourselves increasingly cut off from nature uh, and the wisdom of presence. If ever we are constantly stuck in the loop of input-output with AIs, we will fail in listening to our intuition, which is our greatest skill. That, again, another part that resides outside of the reach of machines. So completely, the more, I'm a big fan of Montessori schools. I'm a big fan of any type of education that brings students to their innocence and to the innocence of nature. So I believe that the more we are integrating AIs in education and in our daily lives, equal amount we should be bringing nature and being in touch with our intuition.
Thank you for that. Now, just before we wrap and I ask you for your final closing thoughts, there's been a lot of news just last week about AI and video. We've seen OpenAI release Sora 2, this sort of upgraded video audio generation model. Google released Veo and Flow. Meta introduced Vibes. It seems like everyone's going to be able to become an AI artist. What are your thoughts about this? And maybe as parents, or educators, how should we be thinking perhaps about those new tools?
Well, that is, thank you for saying, for your wonderful inquiry. This is nothing new. We're all photographers. Look, I have a camera. You all have a camera. But does that make us photographers? Does that make me a cinematographer? No. If you give me a camera, if you give me a filmmaking camera, I'll probably break it. I have no idea how to use it, and that's not where my talent lies. But thanks to a camera here, kids and professionals with extreme talent can easily express themselves. So just because there are AI tools out there for music making, video making, creativity making, it doesn't mean that we all become writers and creators. If it is inside of us, it's much easier for us to express it. Um, but I would like, and as a society, we always have a way to filter quality from mediocrity. So there will be a lot more content that is put out there, just like there are a lot more pictures via Instagram that is out there, but that doesn't that still makes sure that we as society we can recognize quality out of mediocrity.
Thank you, Pinar, for those lovely thoughts, which I'm sure will resonate with the educators out there. The proliferation of tools does not take away, if anything, requires more of their support for guiding students and being really the catalysts of creativity in, a future where there'll be more and more tools. The tools don't make the education themselves. So what about your closing thoughts? A couple of key takeaways perhaps that you would like the audience to take back from our session today.
I would like each and every person present right now to start wondering about the art of being human when looking at AI. I am not fascinated by technology. To me, there's no difference from a glass, a phone, a car than an AI. It's simply a tool in the service of me. I would like us to stop being fascinated by our tools and start being fascinated with who we are to get to know ourselves better. I believe that uh, technology is invented regarding to the needs of their time. So we invented AI because we needed it. What does it mean? Is that it's a very high computation power that we haven't reached before. But then I would like us to contemplate on what is the height of being human? What is the height of the art of being human that we are required to reach to be able to correctly pair with this high computation power? So let's stop being fascinated by AI and start being fascinated by our profound nature as human beings.
What a lovely way to close, from computation power to human power in education. Thank you for a beautiful session today. Thank you everybody for your excellent questions. If you're like me, I'm sure you want to learn more. Pinar has put in the chat where you can find some documents and email. I definitely encourage you to take the LinkedIn training. It will blow your mind. You will become even smarter and hopefully even more human in the age of AI. Thank you, Pinar, for joining us. Bye-bye, everybody.